Success isn't random. It follows a code. Welcome to the Conant Code, where we break down the strategies, challenge the myths, and uncover the truth in 5 minutes or less. Now, let's crack the code.
It was a crisp autumn morning in New Salem, Illinois. The courthouse smelled of damp wood and bad decisions. A young man stood before the judge, clutching his worn hat, his face a mix of resolve and quiet panic. He had once been full of entrepreneurial ambition, the proud co-owner of a tavern in town. But like so many business ventures before and after, it had gone badly. The tavern was in financial shambles. His business partner had died, leaving behind a mountain of debt. And now it all fell on him. He tried to explain to the judge that he had sold his share of the business long ago, that the debts weren't really his anymore. But the judge didn't care. The law was the law. The verdict was swift and brutal. Everything he owned would be seized, his personal belongings, even his horse and saddle. He'd lost everything. For most people, that would have been the end. Another failed businessman, swallowed by debt and obscurity. But this man was different. Instead of folding under the pressure, he borrowed money from a friend, reclaimed his belongings, and made a vow. Never again would he be caught off guard. No more risky business ventures. No more courtroom surprises. If the law was going to beat him, he'd make it his business to know the law better than anyone else. Within 2 years, he did just that. He passed the bar. Not the kind with whiskey and beer, but the kind that made him an attorney. And this attorney? Well, he went on to do some pretty big things. His name was Abraham Lincoln. We know him as the 16th President of the United States, the man who held the nation together during its darkest hour. But before all that, before Gettysburg, before emancipation, he was a failed businessman, drowning in debt, dragged through courtrooms, humiliated in front of his peers. His early failures shaped him, giving him a deep understanding of justice, fairness, and resilience. Those experiences in that small Illinois courthouse, they were the foundation for everything that came later. Now fast forward to today. Another man stands in front of judges, not once, but dozens of times. He's no bartender, but his business dealings have taken center stage in courtrooms across the country. He's been called many things: a disruptor, a visionary, a con man, a fighter. His critics have labeled him reckless, accusing him of running his businesses and his political career into the ground. His supporters see him as a bold risk-taker, someone who thrives on chaos and always seems to land on his feet. That man is Donald Trump. From business bankruptcies to legal battles, Trump's life has been one long series of high-stakes gambles. Some have paid off spectacularly, others, not so much. But one thing is undeniable: Trump never stays down for long. When the casinos failed, he pivoted. When reality TV came knocking, he turned The Apprentice into a cultural phenomenon. When he was written off as a long shot for the presidency, he shocked the world by winning. And now, after losing the White House, he's done it again, re-elected as the 47th President of the United States. What connects these two men, Lincoln and Trump, couldn't seem more different at first glance. One was quiet and reflective, the other loud and combative. One spoke in poetic prose, the other in blunt, punchy sound bites. But look closer, and you'll see the common thread: resilience. Both men faced public humiliation. Both were dragged through courtrooms and headlines, written off by their critics, and told their stories were over. And both refused to believe it. Lincoln's story is complete. We know how it ends. But Trump's, it's still being written. Love him or hate him, it's a story that commands attention. Some will remember him as a fighter who never backed down, a man who defied odds again and again. Others will see him as a cautionary tale, someone who flew too close to the sun one too many times. History will ultimately decide where he stands. But one thing is certain: in the world of resilience, comebacks are everything. And both men, separated by nearly 2 centuries, have mastered the art of the comeback. And that, my friends, is the Conant Code.
That's it for this episode of the Conant Code. If you got something out of it, share it with a friend, follow the show, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. More insights, more strategies, and more code breaking coming soon. Until next time, Keep thinking, keep building, and keep pushing forward.